famously, I guess, things that people might have seen you do was the Correspondents' Dinner in 2018, which I watched. It's all on YouTube. I watched it again today, which was it's a great thing. I think it's a great speech, and like a little bit got taken out, but I think it wasn't like the best bit of it. It's interesting. They concentrated on what you said about Sarah Huckabee.
Oh yes, they got my Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who was there. And so Trump didn't go.
No,
Trump didn't go. Which your president always goes. Even like before Trump, every president had gone to the White House Correspondents' Dinner as long as it had existed. Even Reagan was shot, and he called in from the hospital. So it was, everyone had gone. Trump wasn't going as long as he had been president, and he sent Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who was his press secretary at the time, in his place. And I made a very not offensive joke that everyone took very badly.
There was some offensive jokes in there that not about.
Yeah. I said about Sarah Huckabee Sanders because she used to. I'll say the joke. It was Sarah, you burn facts and use the ashes to create that perfect smoky eye. And then I said, maybe it's Maybelline, maybe it's lies. And everyone took that as I was calling her ugly. The problem is she's not a conventionally attractive woman. But I was complimenting her makeup.
Yeah.
And it became a thing.
Yeah.
And my theory behind it is that I said at the end of the speech that the press, you guys are actually profiting off of Trump. He couldn't sell, what did I say? He couldn't sell ties or steak or Eric. But he's sold his. You guys are buying his news. You're profiting off of him, and at the detriment of the people. And I think they wanted to not draw attention to that. They wanted to take away attention from that point. And then they were like, she made fun of Sarah's looks.
Yes, interesting, because there's lots of stuff in there, and it's an interesting gig because you're sort of not playing to the room, you're playing to the world. It's a bit like one of the award ceremonies that often you're playing to the people outside the room because the people inside the room aren't that interested.
No, and they're not good sports.
They're not good sports.
Yeah,
but even more so with the politicians, I think, isn't it? They didn't like it.
Yeah, you could see some people laughing, and then other people at the tables being like. Giving them like a really stern don't laugh look, and a friend of mine texted me right before I started, and they were like, remember, when they're not laughing, you're doing well. So as soon as they got quiet, I really kind of settled in, like I started to feel comfortable. I was like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. And I mean, if I could go back, I would be meaner.
Right.
I think I was too nice knowing what I know now. And I did make. They said, "Oh, you make fun of women's looks. You made fun of a woman's looks." The most maddening part of that is that I had jokes about a woman's looks that I literally took out the night before. I mean, I don't know if you remember this. There was a woman who used to work for Trump. Her name was Kellyanne Conway. And I had a joke that I took out the night before because my friend was like, if you say this, they're going to say you made fun of her looks, and that's what the whole thing's going to be about. It's going to take away from everything that you said. And so I took it out, but the joke was amazing. I'm so mad because I said she was in charge of the opioid crisis, trying to fix the opioid crisis. And I said, how can you be in charge of the opioid crisis when you only look 3 days clean? Which is a fair and good joke.
It's a good joke. It's not really about. I mean, it is about looks.
It's about her looks, but it's good. It's fine.
It's good. It's fine.
I made fun of Chris Christie. I don't know if you know Chris Christie. He's our. He was the New Jersey governor. He's a very large man. There's a famous picture of him pouring M&Ms into a bigger bag of M&Ms. Like he is. He's at the Yankees Stadium wearing a Yankees, the buttons are just holding on for dear life. A very, very large man, and I made a joke about his looks, and no one got mad about that. It was I said making fun of Republicans is easy. It's like shooting a fish in a Chris Christie. Or something like that. I can't remember it exactly, but it's shooting a fish in a barrel. But I said whatever.
It works.
I can't remember it exactly, but I have 2 small children. But anyway, the point is I made fun of people's looks. I made fun of men's looks. I didn't make fun of Sarah Huckabee Sanders' looks, although I could have.
It's an interesting gig, and I sort of wonder, especially maybe not so much then. Maybe if it was now, you'd feel it more, but. Do you worry? Because Trump has such a thin skin. I think there's that famous bit where Obama's taking the piss out of him, and you feel this is the moment that he decided he was going to begin his reign of evil.
Yeah.
Because he didn't like jokes about him. But the level of those guys, and as they're getting more and more insane, do you feel like there's a target from them that at some point that might come back? They go, how dare you joke about us, and now is the retribution of any kind?
Well, I had, Trump actually responded at some months later. It was like literally, it might have been, 6 months after the dinner. It was probably even more than that, maybe like 8 or 9 months after the dinner, because they were announcing who the next year, the new person at the dinner was going to be an author. And it was the first time they had an author instead of a comedian. And because of what I did. And and he said something about like the so-called comedian Michelle Wolf, or I don't remember exactly, but he was saying something bad about me, which is a compliment. And I responded with, he said something about so-called comedian. I can't remember exactly, but I responded with, it was right after Jamal Khashoggi had been murdered by the Saudis, and he had defended the Saudis in the murder. And I responded with, I bet you'd be on my side if I just killed a journalist. It was very topical at the time. Although I think fair now too. But yeah, so I was actually thinking about writing new jokes this year because he's going to be there for the first time. Trump's going to be there at the correspondents' dinner. They're not having a comedian, they're having a mentalist. Which is not someone that evaluates your mental state. It's someone who, remembers names or does tricks with memory. But I was going to write a new one. I just haven't had time to write the jokes. I did write one new joke, which I said, I'm going to try to keep this short. I know everyone here. I'll keep it under 18. And if I didn't have 2 small children and I actually had time to write jokes, I would have expanded.
Well, I liked in the one you did, you said you should have done more research before you got me to do this, which I think is just a lovely little line to throw away. But and do you think, obviously when you do something and it blew up and there's 18 million views on YouTube, is it a positive thing for you, or is it because there's got to be a lot of negative stuff that comes with this as well? But is it an overall positive for you to have done that?
I think it's net positive. Okay. I mean, there is a lot of negative. I mean, there's a lot of angry, people that don't like you, but that's okay. I wouldn't have wanted them as fans to begin with. But it also does put you in this arena where when you go to do stand-up, then people expect that kind of thing from you. And it's like, well, that was an event, like I wrote jokes for that event. And now you're at my stand-up show and it might not be that.
Yes.
It's definitely not that. And I think some people expect more roasting from you. And so they might be a little disappointed at my stand-up comedy. So sorry.
I don't think anyone would be disappointed. Anyone who understands comedy. I've been rewatching, my wife especially, but both of us are big fans of yours, and we're going to come and see you in Walthamstow on July the 8th. I think we're coming there on July 8th and 9th.
Everyone come.
Everyone come. It's a lovely theatre as well, that theatre.
I'm doing a bunch of things in the south of England because I can't travel too much because of my children. So if you live within 2 hours of London,
You're going to see it.
you can see me. And everyone who's like, this isn't a UK tour, I know, I'm getting to the rest. I'm trapped by children that are mine, which is also something you need to clarify these days.